My name's Holly DeYoung. I am a first-year master's student for international development. I am from New York, and I most recently moved here from Chicago. I chose the Korbel school because, for a number of reasons. First of all, it is very multidisciplinary and focused, so I actually had a whole lot of interests coming in, and it allows me to kind of pick and choose and explore various aspects of development. So that was the first reason. The second reason, which really kind of sealed the deal, so to speak, was I actually came and sat in on a class, and I just really felt, you know how they say when you go to undergrad that you really make a connection or whatever, you really just know what feels right when you go there, and I definitely had that sort of feeling when I came here. And then lastly, the location of the school is not awful either. I really enjoy living in Denver. The Rockies are, our backyard, and so really a number of reasons, but primarily for the program, of course, was the first choice. I take 3 classes at a time. This quarter I actually tried to take 4, but one of them ended up being canceled. So I'm still taking 3. I schedule them kind of, however, by the class that I want to take. I try to take at least one of the core courses per quarter, just to kind of get them out of the way, and then I definitely try to take one that I'm certainly interested in, just kind of exploring the topic. In terms of when I like to schedule them, for me personally, 2 to 5 is really an awful time. I get really sleepy at like 3:30. So I prefer the 6 to 9, which is kind of odd. Most people don't like that one, or that time slot. But also for me, it's a little bit different. I still work full time as well, so I kind of have to juggle my job. Luckily, I work from home, but I have to juggle my job with class, and so I do try to schedule them either in the afternoon or the late slot. Typically in a day, I wake up and I do work in the morning. I have my regular job in the morning, and then if it's a day that I have class, I'll stop work at around probably 2 and then come to school. I'm sorry, 1 and then come to school. In terms of getting all my reading in, that's where it gets kind of difficult. I take naps. I don't actually sleep. So like I will take a nap from like 8 p.m. until whenever, get up, read for a couple hours, study for a couple hours. I also have a really hard time sitting down and doing all my reading at once. So I like to cut it up into smaller, more manageable segments. And then I just come to school. Also, I work better in the morning, so that's when I do the majority of my schoolwork, as well as before work, at absurdly early hours in the morning. I'd say the typical requirement for a development course, it varies depending on the class. Last quarter, I took a 3-credit course, and it had more reading than any other class I've ever taken in my life. But on average, I would say for the rest of my courses, it's probably anywhere between 100 and 200 pages, which a lot of them are pretty small articles, academic journal type things. So they're short and very doable in one sitting. So it's nice. You can be able to split it up over a couple of days pretty easily. But yeah, I would say the average is probably around 100 to 200. After school, I'm actually pretty flexible. I'm pretty open. It probably depends on how this fellowship goes that I just got. I'll have the opportunity to experience a whole range of development initiatives this coming summer, which I'm really excited about. And I'll be working anywhere on projects from public health to reproductive health to sustainable development. And these are all things that I'm really extremely interested in. But in terms of like the field, I'll probably be working for some sort of an NGO. I'd like to be a project manager or a director of an NGO. But in terms of the field or a specific field, I'm not really sure, or a specific topic rather. I'm pretty open, I'm pretty flexible. My advice for incoming students is pretty cliche. It's definitely manage your time well. There's so much to do when you get here. Just like as I'm sure most people had that same experience in undergrad. You get here, there's so many new people you're meeting. Everybody, you want to have that active social life and really get to know your students. There's so many student organizations that you can join, and you want to join all of them. Speaker series, there's speakers coming in all the time. I feel like every day of the week there's some activity going on. And then of course there is the managing your time, going up to the mountains, let's say. Like I just learned to snowboard. So it's definitely, you can do it all if you manage your time well. You need to remember why you're here, I guess, is probably the bottom line. Because again, it is very easy to get distracted and to get caught up in all of the fun other stuff to do. The other thing I would definitely advise is to come in and sit on a class. The professors are really, really cool about letting you sit in, letting prospective students come in and sit on a class. So find one that you like on the schedule, and send them an email and say, hey, I'd like to sit on your class, if you can manage it. If you're coming from a place where you can actually get on a plane and come to Denver for a little bit, I definitely would recommend that.